basically what Charles says, and he said this Monday, tweets out, this is an HBAR Vote question. So HBAR Vote is a new project with a vote token powered by We the Mouth. So it's very cool. You can use tokens to vote, but the president of Hedera is doing the first one. And he says, in what city should I host the first president sponsored Hedera community party? Now we all know that Hedera community parties are something that everyone would like to do. I have people DM me. They're like, oh, should we do one here? Should we do one there? There's lots of ideas for stuff to happen. So I like this, but I think that there were some valid points on each side that I think are important to highlight. One from HBAR Bull and then one from Tom from Pixfy that I appreciated. And I think that this kind of goes to what Max was saying earlier of like side events. Like Hedera really needs to not just, bring their brand and product into like cross-chain spaces and broader conferences, but like create spaces for themselves. And so there are two ways of looking at this. This comes from the idea of the president of Hedera going, we're going to do a community party somewhere. And so the HBAR Bull says, I love the idea of Hedera party, but would rather save it for when we are winning. So HBAR Bull basically says, Hedera needs to get lean and value HBAR holders. They make everything possible and must be respected for their contribution by builders, the foundations, and Hedera alike. A litmus test for a party would be when HBAR holders don't mind footing the bill for meeting up themselves. So I think that is definitely a counterpoint, is like, when is the right time for a community party, a community meetup? Is it the right time to do it right now? Like, we've got HBAR down in the gutter with everything else. We got lots of problems we got to solve. Where should our focus be? Right. That's kind of like the theme here is like, where should the focus be? And I think that, when you look at this, that's one way of looking at it. Now let's see what Tom says. Tom disagrees with the HBAR Bull. He says, I think we capture mind share, got that W, and thank the Hedera ecosystem all at the same time. The party needs to coincide with the largest blockchain event of the year. Solana didn't achieve what they did by being a wallflower. We got to go bold, and that's not incentivizing people to hold HBAR. We want builders coming on over because it's a vibrant ecosystem where they can create value for themselves, not passive gains off a gas token. We've got the single most exploitable advantage in all of crypto, a network primed for true Web3 commerce. All the neighbors are sound asleep. It's time to crank up the volume and wake everyone up. A party is exactly what's needed as a catalyst. And that's also a valid point. And I think that those two kind of posts really illustrate the two sides of this. And, I think that it's really important to deliberate a community party. It could be something that turns out like, is it going to turn out to be some kind of like cringe fest that we've been seeing out there? Or is it going to be some kind of blowout type of thing? I think what's most important is making sure everyone's on the same page. And what's the best way to do that? A vote. So, I mean, it's like, it's happening like this. I know I harp on Hedera and the foundation and swirls, like all this kind of stuff all the time. But I mean, things are changing. The ways in which they go about doing these things are changing. And right, it's coming right from the top. So how can you work through these things as a community if it's not visible, if it's not public? Like, how can you have these types of conversations? So happy the convos are happening. Happy maybe a party is going to happen. I vote for New York. We'll see what unfolds. I got to give a shout out to, this was fantastic. I have to give a shout out to Tata, who's listening. Probably one of my favorite ratios I've ever seen on social media. This is great. So check this out.